Here we go. Right on, man. Now we could jump in, guys. Now we could jump in. So,
all right.
Well. Welcome, everyone. Really appreciate it. We'll wait for some people to join. But, man, so happy to have this live stream with some of the favorite people that I love following, that I get a lot of really amazing ideas. One, I find out when McFarlane figures are coming out. Yeah. So I wait for all of your information. But, man, some of the stuff that you guys are doing are amazing. So maybe we'll just go around the horn, introduce ourselves, and then let's jump in and let's talk everything Todd McFarlane and what he's done for this industry and why we're such big fans, man. So maybe, LT, since you're right next to me on the top, maybe we could start with you, we'll go to Asoka, and then end with Ty, if that's all right.
Cool. Hey, guys, my name's LT, House of Geekery online on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. I have been a collector of action figures about 35 years now, and really have hit it hard since McFarlane won the license to the DC multiverse.
Yeah.
And since day one, 2000, when he got the license, I have not stopped. I'm proud to say I have every single DC multiverse figure he's put out.
Oh man, I can't wait to talk to you about that, bro.
So,
that's crazy.
You gotta show a video, LT, of your place, man, because every single wall is covered in his place with DC multiverse from McFarlane. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Holy
Look at
shit!
That. We can go all the way here.
Yeah.
I've always wondered if there was a guy out there that did all the multiverse.
Back. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
dude.
Respect.
Yeah, like I said, inbox. Inbox takes a lot of space.
Yeah.
It sure does.
But no,
to be honest, that's the only reason I'm out of the box. Yeah, absolutely, LT. We love having you, man. All right, Mr. Asoka.
Well, Tommy, first of all, thank you so much for having me on this program with these esteemed colleagues here, Ty and LT. I'm Asoka. I collect DC. I've been collecting DC for, 20 plus years, from DC Direct to Mattel, now with McFarlane Toys. So yeah, I'm 100% DC focused just because of space, really. I would love to dabble in Marvel and other things. The only thing I dabble in is Spawn. I have a little Spawn collection, but I'm focused on DC. I have I post a lot of content on Instagram. Have a little show on YouTube I do with Brad, the DC Universe Geek, and Rob D Toys. But excited to be here and talk to you fine gentlemen.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Asoka, thanks for joining us. All right, my man Ty, him and I have been on some calls together too, man. Ty, thanks for joining. He's like the world traveler too, so to be able to get him in his Spawn room is quite a feat. Hi, Christina, thanks for joining.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys. I admire your accounts. I'm always impressed by all of the stuff that you guys put out there. So I'm learning on the ways of the social media world. And what better ways to follow you guys and learn more about that stuff with showing your collection. So my name is Ty, also known as a SpawnHunter, and I collect, as you can probably tell, everything Spawn. I've been collecting Spawn since 1992 when the comic came out, and then 1994 when the toys came out. So you can imagine that I've been collecting almost every single item, not just action figure, but also things like video games and lighters and keychains. So I'm that guy that has this stuff. So it's been a great ride to be a Spawn collector. I think as Spawn collectors, like I said earlier, we're living the best time of our lives, having Spawn product everywhere. And absolutely. I'm proud to say that I'm one of the many people involved in putting Spawn Con together. It's the first ever Spawn convention coming up this fall.
We definitely were going to bring that up, man, because that's going to be awesome, man. Right before Halloween, it's like the perfect time to be in an environment where everything is Spawn related, man. So my goal is to be there. It's in Denver, and I can't wait, man. I got to talk my wife into it. She's like, dude, pick something, man, because you're like all over the place with money. So I'm trying to stay married and continue my collection, and it's getting harder and harder.
That's a tough battle, bro. Now, are you honest with your wife about your spending? Like, does she know, or did she look the other way?
No. So, you're probably gonna get me in trouble. I don't think she's watching this, but I would say for the most part, I'm very honest. But some boxes do show up, and I always say, hey, I bought that a long time ago, as a pre-order, and I didn't know when they were going to deliver it, right? But if you do that every single time, it stops working. So yeah, exactly. But no, it's all fun.
My wife is ignorance. Like, she knows a lot's being spent. She's an ass, but occasionally I slip up. I told her once, like, I'm trying to get this Batmobile Lego. It's like $300. She's like, you're spending $300 on a Lego? So that was a big mistake. That was a big mistake on my part. But anyways,
I have asked my mailman to have a spot around the house to put boxes in.
Bro.
And so he has a code so he can get in and put everything in a spot. So nobody sees anything. Nobody. I tell, you get more packages than I do. I don't get anything. And then I go out around the garage and I get my packages. Or I'll say, no, that's for my buddy and friends. No. He ordered that. I got to.
Yeah, that's smart, dude. That's smart right there. Okay,
that's brilliant.
Your postman hook you up, dude.
I give him a nice present for Christmas, so works
nice.
Out.
That's great.
LT, you don't have any of these problems, huh?
I am happily divorced, and I get all my stuff sent to my mom's house. So I don't trust anything here at my apartment. So my mom's happy to help. So she said,
"That's awesome."
I don't want to get too personal though, bro. Was the action figure the cause of the divorce? Was it like the toys or the wife, and you chose the toys?
I did have a lot of McFarlane figures back then, and like Movie Maniacs and stuff like his other lines aside from Spawn. And it did build up. I can't say for sure if that was, but the toy room was getting out of hand. So I would attribute that, but it wasn't the main cause.
All right.
Yeah, very good.
I don't want to get too deep into that, bro. You know what I mean? But I had to ask. I mean, I got kicked out of the house. I'm in a shed in my backyard.
But that said, that would be a great idea for a show, right?
That would be a great idea, bro.
Tales of the Collectors.
Yeah, dude. Sad Tales of the Collector. You know what I mean? Or it sounds like Happy Tales of the Collector.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? Yeah. I mean, dude, look at all the disposable income you have now for your collection. I mean,
right.
I mean, bro, I gotta ask you, you have every DC Multiverse figure in box.
Yes.
Bro, does it drive you crazy having to buy everything, or is it fun? Like, I understand you're a completist, and I want to understand the psychology there, bro.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like I said, I've been collecting for about 35 years now, and all those figures are in box. I have boxes and tubs full of figures, unboxed, never opened. So when it came to this, it was really a no-brainer that I was going to continue that. Now finding the boxes in as mint condition as I can is sometimes is hard, because especially those that come to retail, Target, Walmart, so far, they get just manhandled. The people unboxing them, putting them on the shelves, just don't treat them, and then you get those asses that go and will damage boxes on purpose, and that's true because people do that. Will go and damage a box just so you can't have it. I know it's true. Anyway, but the whole part of the whole hunt of finding a complete box like that. But I mean, to be honest, now it's getting easier to order online, especially from like McFarlane's Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad, where you can find boxes, or they can ship to you what you want immediately, or when pre-orders go up on But
it's not too challenging.
It does drive me crazy wanting to get every box minty ass. I do have some that are no, it's not. However, you do get those that are just a little bit dinged or something, so it makes me want to go try to find another one. So
yeah. I agree with Christina. I think Target and Walmart, you're always finding some boxes that are pretty beat up. And LT, just so you know, it's not us out of the box collectors that are doing that to the box in Target to make sure it's there the next time we come in. I just want you to know that it's got to be somebody who's just really mean. But
I mean, I've seen some Funko Pop horror stories online about people doing that. They'll damage boxes. so you can't get it. I mean,
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so mean.
the life of a collector.
That's horrible.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Or the ones that will open and take out a piece or return a figure in a different box. You know, those ones that switch out stuff.
I'm telling you, all these things are going to be a great show. The highs and lows of collecting. I would.
I'm writing the script right now. You know?
Right.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, LT, you started not with obviously McFarlane because he wasn't around when he started 35 years ago. So, what was the first toy that you collected in box that really started off this obsession with in box collecting for you?
My first figures were Star Trek: The Next Generation, 1987 Galoob figures. I don't know if you remember Galoob. I did have a lot of the superpower figures, but they were all open. And then we got into the Toy Biz versions of the Toy Biz of the superpower figures. I think called DC Superheroes. I'm not sure. I remember. I started collecting those in box, and then it went into Batman the Animated Series, and then anything Mattel, Kenner, Hasbro, McFarlane. In about 94, I started collecting a bunch of Spawns, and and then Mattel stepped in and 2000 when they got the license from Kenner for Batman or DC, and then from there I collected all Mattel, and then DC Direct, and then DC Collectibles, or just anything DC was I had to get. And then I dabbled in Marvel Legends for a while, and then they went windowless, and I quit them because there's no point in putting up just a box.
That was a big mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. So you need
actually you had a really good TikTok about that too, LT.
Oh yeah.
What
it was on
there. I must the environment is important, guys. But I mean,
it's
not plastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, now they're going back to it. I heard so.
I put those away.
Yeah,
I think next year they're coming back, but I mean, I'm already a year out of Marvel collecting because of what they did, and it wasn't just Marvel. They did that with Star Wars.
G.I. Joe.
A bunch of their lines went windowless. Power Rangers, G.I. Joe. It pissed off a lot of inbox collectors. I mean, we are the minority as far as collectors, as far as inbox, but I think that did do a dent in their overall income as far as money. So
even we have a friend Fuzzy. I don't know if you follow Fuzzy on TikTok, but he's a Marvel. He's the Marvel version of LT, right? But he's an out of the box collector. And even though he's going to tear the box open and pull out the figure, he still was pretty pissed that the plastic was gone, because you want to see what you're purchasing too, right? Does the figure actually look like what's on the box? So I do think that it did have a bigger effect. And obviously it did, because they're going back to plastic next year. So I think they knew they made a mistake. But unfortunately, right, they're probably losing a year of sales from people that wanted the windows. So.
Absolutely.
How about you, Mr. Ty?
All my money went directly to McFarlane.
How about you, Ty? What was the first figure that you got? I assume that you were collecting before Spawn, or was Spawn your first figure?
No, I was collecting a little bit of everything like everybody else. And at the time, the big lines were the Marvel superhero lines, which made by Toy Biz. And those figures, to me, as a young collector or just a fan of the comics, it left such a huge impression, because they were so cool. It was like the first time they were articulation, and the card, the art, everything about it was just so impressive. So my first ever figure was the Venom from Marvel Superheroes. And he's the skinny Venom, right, with the face. And I thought that.
That's a great figure, dude.
Yes,
great figure, bro.
I thought it captured the McFarlane art the best at the time. And I bought one to keep sealed. It was my first ever figure that I purchased with the intent of keeping it factory sealed to the package. And to this day, I still have it. Obviously, it doesn't fit in with the Spawn collection today, but that was my first ever action figure, and then the rest is history. So I went from Marvel superheroes to the X-Men line that came out from Toy Biz as well, and then I started collecting just about everything, and it got a little crazy. So now, this day and age, I'm just focusing 100% on Spawn. I had so much Spawn stuff, and I've been a big fan of Todd McFarlane, so it just made sense to focus and all guns blazing with the Spawn collection, and it's been great.
And you are an inbox collector, and you do have every single Spawn figure, every single series up to this point, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing.
Yeah,
it's it's easier than an LT, because LT, hats off to you, because it is a challenge to keep up with the DC multiverse with so many variants, so many exclusives, and the Jokerized versions, etc., etc. Whereas, knock on wood, for me, there's no Jokerized Spawn version.
Yeah, but dude, that Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn has like 20 different variations, right?
Yeah,
they do.
And that stopped. So, but I was able to get those versions as well. So it's been, I would say, easier to get into the Spawn and being able to grab every Spawn figure presently, and then I can focus on the past and just fill some gaps for other weird things that are out there, especially from Japan.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. All right, Asoka, I watch you all the time, man. The amount of figures that you're opening, and I've seen the shed that you've been pushed out to. Yeah, there's no way all those figures are fitting in there, man. Bro. Where are all these figures go, man? Once you open them, because it's amazing how many you have, man.
I'm a lot, bro. I'm the anti-LT and anti-tie, so I open everything. Chuck that packaging. I rip it up, it's gone. Mentally, I cannot keep it in a package. I've tried.
Yeah.
Like one or two, but I just can't do it. But yeah, dude, I have the stuff you see behind me. Then in the garage, I have, I don't know, like 7-8 tubs of figures. It's a problem, dude. It's a problem. It's like, and I don't want to sell anything because the hope is one day, like, we can get a bigger house. I could build a bigger shed, and I don't want to like get rid of this stuff, and then have to buy it again. But dude, like very similar to Ty. Like I got into toys like with like Batman the animated series, with the Toy Biz, Spider-Man, and the X-Men, and then from there, it's funny. I never stopped collecting. Like I thought at some point I would stop, but I just stopped playing with the toys, obviously.
Right.
But then it just like, and then DC Direct in '98. That was when I said, okay, I'm just gonna focus on DC Direct. That's it. I didn't even buy Mattel for a long time, just so I can afford both.
Right.
I was trying to do some amazing things. But then McFarlane took over, and McFarlane's been great. But I have a good mix of Mattel, McFarlane, and DC Direct back there. So definitely it all stemmed from the childhood and just never growing up or just never losing interest in it. You guys know, like it's just a weird thing where other people just stop buying stuff, but and then the figures started to get better, right, as we got older. They geared it more for collectors, like especially with Todd, right, and the Spawn line.
Right.
He created collector action figures.
Yeah.
So you could buy them and display them, and you didn't feel like you were buying like a kid's toy. It was something more mature. So I think that's definitely helped all of us stay in this hobby, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm more on your side, Asoka. Although some of these nicer boxes that McFarlane has come out with, like the limited editions, those are really hard to open because the packaging is so beautiful. So I got a closet full of all these packages that I've kept. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'll probably end up throwing them away, but they're really hard to throw away because they're really nice. But I like you, man. My wife has made it very clear that you have your work office, do whatever you want in there. Yeah. Your shit's not going anywhere else in our house. So that forced me to be an out of the box collector because it's getting stressful finding room for figures out of the box.
There's too much stuff. Like it's
too much.
And these companies have gotten really smart. They've weaponized our nostalgia. Like they're releasing all this old shit. Plus the new stuff. And like there's literally no space. And then you have all these really big toys coming out, like all the stuff HasLab does. And it's nuts. Even the new Batmobile, like there's 2 of those now. And it's just like, where do you put all this stuff? I'm running out of space. I ran out of space a while ago. I'm creeping into the garage a little bit. But my wife does not like it. She's like, why is that Batmobile and Batwing in the garage. That's not what it's supposed to be about. So struggle, dude. Struggle.
It's a struggle, yeah. The struggle of a collector. Man, life is hard, man. Life is hard.
I mean, again, first world problems that we get.
Exactly.
Like, this is what we're bitching about on a Saturday morning. All the abundance of toys that we have. Man. You know?
I go to South America quite a bit, and we have some friends down there, and it's such a different world when I go down there.
Yeah.
You know, they're worried about paying rent and making sure they have food on the table. And I'm embarrassed if they follow me on TikTok because it's really, like, to your point, Asoka, man, we're so spoiled to be able to have these kind of problems in our life, man. But anyway, I don't want to be a downer.
Oh no, dude. I'm from Sri Lanka. It's a little island below India. It's the third world country. And I go there, and like my cousins still have the toys I gave them 20 years ago.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And like there are collectors down there, but they can't.
Yeah.
You can't buy anything over there, and even like shipping stuff overseas. It's funny. Tell me, I saw someone on one of your posts asking if you ship the giveaway internationally. It's nuts how expensive customs is to ship something. I did it once. I did a giveaway and I opened it up internationally. And the guy who won was in India, and it was going to cost $500 to get him the toy through customs.
That's crazy.
And I was like, so the package was there in customs. I basically had them destroy it because it was too expensive for them to ship it back. And it was a mess. So anyways, don't ship internationally, Tommy. I
mean, even Canada, like I'll open up Canada to send just a comic book to Canada, which I did do because I made the promise, and it wasn't $500, but it was still $35.
Yeah.
So it's like $10 to ship it, and then there's like a $35 charge on top of that. Right. So by the time someone gets a comic book, man, it's a $50 comic book and the cover price was $4.99. So yeah, it's a little crazy, man. I don't. Anyways, it's tough.
Tell me,
so that's
where do you go in South America? Are you down in Brazil ever, or where do you go?
Mainly Chile and Peru. So I have quite a few friends in Peru that we visit. We usually go twice a year, although I haven't gone this year, but my wife did go at the beginning of the year. And then we have family in Santiago, Chile.
Oh, fun, man. That's awesome. You should try to reach out to the toy community down there. I'm sorry, LT.
Yeah.
I'm 10 minutes from the Mexican border, and I do not go to Mexico. So yeah.
Bro, you don't even go for like good Mexican food. You don't go like hop the border to like.
Oh no, I live in a place where the Mexican food is just as good. Okay. So
yeah.
Now, LT, you're in Texas, right? You're down in Texas, right?
I'm in Texas, South Texas, 10 minutes again from the Mexico border.
I mean, I don't want to be stereotypical.
You look at the map. I'm right on the bottom.
I hope there's a brisket being smoked in your backyard right now. I hope there's a brisket being smoked in your backyard right now. You know what I mean?
That's at my cousin's house. Yeah.
All right, there you go. There
it is. Oh man.
Yeah.
So
if it's not, at least it will be tomorrow because tomorrow Sunday football starts. So.
Yeah.
Well, I started to smoke brisket recently, and I have friends in Texas, so I'm calling them like it's on the hotline. Hey man, what do I gotta do? The brisket's gonna be ready early. How do I keep it moist till the guests are? You know what I mean? It's the whole thing, man. It's the whole thing.
Now, as far as the DC multiverse, and one of the things that I really love about like the Marvel Legends is the obscure characters that they have licenses for. And you go into Target, and I'm just amazed at some of the figures. I know I was watching an interview with Todd, and he's limited to what DC will license to him to be able to do. But there's some amazing figures that we haven't got our hands on. I would love to see like a Punchline or a Poison Ivy or something like that. Mm-hmm. Is there a figure out of your collections on the DC side that you hope? Like, what is the next figure that you hope McFarlane comes out with that he gets the license for that he currently doesn't have a figure of?
LT, you take it first, sir.
I want a comic accurate Green Arrow and Dinah Lance Black Canary combo pack. I also want a Power Girl, but I don't know how sexualized he can, refrain from making it.
It better be sexualized or it's not Power Girl. I can tell you that right now. Right, unfortunately, that's just how it is, right? And I think McFarlane's the only one that will do it right. If it goes anywhere else, I'm not sure.
I hope so.
Now, I
Yeah.
always wanted. I'm really wanting a line of female figures to come out
Yeah.
more. And like you said, Poison Ivy. We did get teased the Poison Ivy from Batman Forever, right? No, Batman and Robin. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that will be the first one to come out. As far as comic accurate, I would love to see a comic, even a Poison Ivy Hush figure. I mean, we've already got Batman, Superman, and Hush out. I'd like to see a Poison Ivy Hush.
Yeah, that would be dope.
I mean, there's a
That would
lot,
be dope.
Those are just a few that I would love to see right off the bat. So
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's still clamoring for a comic accurate Wonder Woman. We've been teased with it, I believe, at
It's coming. It's coming. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming. Why we took forever to get one, I don't know, but I mean, it is coming. So we'll at least get that. So.
Yeah,
and there'll be 4 versions of it.
Yeah,
at least, and
at least I will have 4 versions on the wall.
Yeah. A deceased. It'll be you're gonna have all kinds of Joker eyes. Yep.
Sketch edition.
Yeah.
Right.
Platinum edition.
With
Gold
edition.
Black light edition.
Signed edition.
How about you, Asoka?
So for me, I'm all about there's a character called Wave Rider from the 90s that I love, and the rumor is he's actually coming out in a few later this year. So that was for me like the grail. They never made a figure of him before. I love the 90s. Again, I'm all about the 90s characters. And there's people now in McFarlane who are also 90s fans. That's why you're seeing a little bit more 90s love from McFarlane. So that's the character for me. But I think they should definitely do like this Batman 6-pack is a home run, right?
Yeah.
They should obviously do a Superman 6-pack, do all the Batman movies. It's like, dude, it's like printing money. Like, look how quickly the Batmobile sold out, the 6-pack sold out. It's insane, and like, I think they should definitely do another production run of all of those and then just do all the movies, man. But it's like, again, our generation, we're the ones who are mainly buying this stuff, I think. And, for us, those movies, like, dude, we all want, even like how people excited are for a Batman and Robin wave, that's the most trashed Batman movie. I love it. Now, I mean, I know it's got problems, but dude, keep doing the movie stuff. Like, the figures, I feel like, of course, I definitely want more women and more diversity, just because we're hardcore collectors. We love the source material, and we like to see. We love the female characters. I get what Todd said before about it not selling. Like, I don't know how the numbers behind all that, but he would know, right? I mean, he knows. But I feel like, dude, if you do a Build-A-Figure wave with a female character, people will buy the whole wave to build a figure, right? So definitely, like LT said, more female characters, man. Like DC especially has the best female
characters.
Yeah, amazing. Like we should have had 20 Wonder Woman by now. Like, I mean, we've had a few Catwomen, but man, and they've done better this year. We had Raven. Did we have Starfire this year? I don't know. No. Yeah, she didn't come out. We had Raven, but it's like maybe a couple of female figures now that I think about over the whole year. Yeah. So definitely more female figures in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. All right, Mr. Ty. I mean, I feel like from the Spawn standpoint, every figure or every character within Spawn's been covered. But man, I feel like Gunslinger has become one of the most popular characters within the Spawn world over the last few years. And I think these only come out with one version of that, if I'm not mistaken, right? I mean, he had that version on a horse and then a version by itself. Am I wrong in that, or is there more of those?
There is the original Gunslinger Spawn that came out from the Art of Spawn series, which was more of a statue-looking figure, which I think, in my opinion, is the best Gunslinger Spawn ever made so far. And for any Spawn fan out there, you want to have that figure in your collection. I have that figure.
I got it
sealed, open,
nice.
And I have the variant of it, which was the international release. Ooh. And so there's that figure. And then, yes, like you mentioned, the one that was recently made. There's only one figure, one sculpt, but it's been released in different colors, like the one with the horse
Yeah.
And it's been released with different accessories, with Gatling gun and anti rifle. So
Yeah.
the Gunslinger Spawn is right now the Wolverine of McFarlane and the Spawn universe.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
he's definitely the one that everybody kind of wants to have and reads the comic. Great comic, by the way, too. So as far as characters coming out, we are very much anticipating the release or the announcement of the Kickstarter Medieval Spawn.
That's right. Yeah.
Has been teased over the last 12 months, and it keeps getting teased over and over again. So we keep hearing next month, next month, next month. And I think, like, the way I look at it is like, I better be saving those pennies for Christmas, because he's gonna drop that right before Christmas, and it's gonna be like, I guess, kids, you're getting a Kickstarter medieval.
Hey, Ty, I want to ask you, you're being a Spawn guy. How do you feel about the Kickstarter Spawn, the Kickstarter medieval Spawn? Like, you have this great line of Spawn figures where they could definitely make those figures in the regular line. Why do you think they do these Kickstarters? Do you think it's necessary, or what do you think about them?
I felt 50-50 when the first release came out, because I've always kind of grown to understand that the Kickstarter platform was one for people that want to put out their product, and they're small scale and they just need the funds to do it.
Yeah.
Compared to somebody with the amount of capital that McFarlane Toys makes, they can, like you said, easily make this figure and sell it on their website. So they don't need any type of platform to even get support from the fans. I think, knowing and perhaps kind of venturing to assuming here, but Todd likes to kind of break through in every platform, whether it's Whatnot, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram. So I think when he saw the opportunity to break records with Kickstarter, and he did, it kind of puts him on the map on the social media spectrum, right? Hey, record sales for Kickstarter, which it was for the Spawn figure. So I think that's the way in the medium, to put himself in another platform rather than the usuals, like a website or a store website. That is like, that's my take on that. But aside from that, the quality of the toy that was made through Kickstarter is just unbelievable. And if you guys have one of these figures, the Kickstarter Spawn, it's definitely one of the best figures, sculpt, accessories, presentation, box.
It is intricate,
and it's a great homage to Series 1. The way the package was presented, with the comic in the back, and the accessories and the stickers and the certificate. I mean, it was just a joy to have. I have the signed versions back here. So it's been a superb product coming out for the Spawn fans.
Yeah, it's a great figure. I have it on. It's the one Spawn figure I have displayed. I don't have room for more than just one Spawn, and that's the go-to Spawn.
I agree 100%.
Oh, by the way, since you mentioned Gunslinger Spawn, I did get this from McFarlane. It's the new designer edition Gunslinger Spawn. I don't even know what the difference is between this and the regular edition. I think it's colored a little bit differently, but it's the designer edition, continuing with our theme of a lot of different variants. So there you go.
Yeah, the difference, Asoka, is that the cape, it's got a deeper cut in the back, so that when you sit him on the horse, the cape can actually go on the sides of the horse, so it's easier to sit him on it.
Okay, so it's kind of like he does on the back.
Yeah, if you put a regular gunslinger, the cape doesn't have that cut in the middle, so the cape gets in the way. The color is the difference, and
that was the GameStop, right? Exclusive. The game.
Yeah, that's right.
Ty, this is why I asked you, bro. I knew you would know.
That's awesome, man. Sorry, guys, I'm having some issues with my headphones. I don't know if they died or what's going on. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can echo.
Very good.
Yeah, the echo.
Yeah, let me see if I can get them back on. You guys go ahead, though, man.
So I know that LT collects all the multiverse and all the variants that there is, which there are many of. I do have in my own OCD kind of ways, and I have to say, I think collectors all have OCD. I'm the first to admit it, that I have OCD. So with McFarlane, aside from the fact that he's got the platinum gold the other signature editions. What I've been collecting and hunting down for has been the different color signatures that he does when he does a giveaway or he does
Oh
an exclusive.
man,
Yes.
that's
So
next
yeah,
level, bro. I love it.
I'm just torturing myself with that. So in the case, like for example, the Hot Wheels, right? So
Yeah.
he signed these Hot Wheels, and come to find out, there's different colors. There's silver, gold, green, blue. So I've
Oh,
managed
wow.
it. This one just came in the mail. I'm missing the
Oh,
green
no.
signature, and now we have the green signature
Wow.
signed Hot Wheels. So my OCD can be put at rest for
Love it,
now
dude.
until the
That's
next
great.
Wow.
episode.
I dig it, dude. I don't have much OCD about toys, but I love it, dude. I love seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's
That
just,
is awesome.
yeah.
Well,
Oh, that is amazing.
I've
And
got
then
five. I've got 5 signatures of Todd on various things, and I could care less what color they are. Just that he signed it. It's all
Yeah.
I need.
and see, and going back to Spawn, because the Spawn,
Yeah.
it's such a small niche right now, right?
Yeah.
And if I can get like the 5 different colors for a Hot Wheel,
Yeah.
it makes it easier for me to hunt down for, right?
Yeah.
The same goes with the video games, right? For example, this just came in the mail while I was away, but it's a factory sealed Japanese release of the PlayStation game.
Holy shit.
No.
So he made a PlayStation game for
Alright.
the PlayStation 1 that came out for the US, but now I've been kind of hunting down the different releases that he made all over the world. So this one is a PAL version of the game, factory sealed, and I'm able to hunt that down. So the OCD for me gets me.
So Ty, you collect everything, Spawn, not just the toys, like merchandise, CDs.
Everything.
Like, are you trying to find every piece of Spawn, anything that's ever been released?
If I was trying to find it, I think I would probably drive myself crazy, and I would have a very large therapist bill. But if I come across an item that I definitely don't have, or something that could fit in with a picture, then yes, to me, it's not just about buying,
Yeah.
but buying something that makes sense and will fit in with the collection. And if you were to ask me, do I have every single comic or every single cover? The answer would be no, because I get no pleasure into collecting comics that I can put in a long white box.
Yeah.
I don't see them. I forget about them, and you buy them, and then it goes away. So you never get to see it. Whereas for the plastic side of things, the action figures, the merchandise, I can see it. I can mess with it. I can open it if I wanted to. So to answer your question, I'll buy something that resonates with me and that would display really well with the collection.
So I love it. I think every collector has their own sort of logic to their collecting, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's all very interesting logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes sense. I love what you said about the comics, because I love buying comics and variant covers, but I definitely slowed down just because like they just end up in a box. I have a little wall of comics, but I don't change it out too much. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a fidgeter.
Oh yeah.
Like today.
That's awesome.
This is what I'm playing with down here, but yeah, dude, I love it, man. Ty, I wish I could see more of your collection, honestly, dude.
Yeah. Like, what's the most unique thing you have, Ty, in your collection, man? That you've got.
Oh,
look at that.
Look at that.
Dude, I love that like 2000s packaging. Like,
yeah.
Oh, look. Oh, dude, you got the OG stuff, man. The play set.
Yeah.
Todd did it first, NECA. Look at that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, bro.
That is sexy.
Dude, where are you? Are you in a bunker? I love it, man.
Yeah, I know. The whole world's going to hell, and Ty is safe with all of his Spawn, man.
Spawn's gonna work, dude. There's like 30 boxes of water in the back behind that. You know,
it's an extra room that when I purchased the home, they never mentioned this extra space, and when I got into this extra space, I'm like, oh, there's 2 storages. Oh yeah, that's right. We forgot about it. I'm like, and right away I knew this was gonna be the room, and here it is. And I'm like, I come here, and this is my therapy room, I like to call it, and I just put my stuff, and I don't try to clutter. I don't like to put stuff in boxes. So as soon as something comes in, like I said, like the video game, it's gonna go with the video game section. The Hot Wheels is gonna go with the Hot Wheels section. So I try to keep it organized, and I think that's a way for me also not to feel necessarily like a hoarder. I want people to come into the room and walk around it. if they want to check something out, go ahead, go right for it. So it's kept me.
So
sane.
everything's displayed, Ty, like that you own.
Yes,
that's impressive, bro.
That's awesome, man.
Damn.
It's been a challenge because there's always something new, but I've been lucky to kind of be very well organized with the way the collection displays.
Man, I mean, in LT, I think we're in the same boat a little bit. We have a lot of stuff in storage that isn't displayed right at LT, and it's like it breaks my heart, but it's like great stuff, like quality stuff that I have to put in a box, and I can't. I mean, I maxed out in space here. Like there's just no space, and it's like I also worry about there'll never be enough space, even if I double the size of my shed or like it's just the amount of product that's coming out. Even just keeping it restricted to DC Multiverse. I mean, it's nuts how many figures go for pre-order every month. And they like when we were growing up, like in the early 2000s, right? You'd see images from Toy Fair in New York, right? And that shit came out like 6 months later. Like, you know what I mean? It took a long time for stuff to come out. But now, dude, like McFarlane announces something this week, like in a month it could ship. You know, so it's just so much stuff coming out.
Well,
a lot of stuff.
Especially when he announces stuff and then you see already figure sneak peek shots from Hong Kong being on, already on the internet, already packaged. I mean, they're beyond prototypes. These are already finished product ready to ship.
Creators Outlet says, how about that long Spawn box, Ty, when you were going around? What was the long one?
Oh, I have it, but it's got comics. So it's the comics I try to keep in a separate area because like Asoka was saying, it's just comics in the box. But it's not so I have it. It's just something like it's there. I didn't want to ignore your question, Tommy, about what are some of the rare or things. There's a lot of, but I'll share with you something that I just got recently. And I don't know if you guys remember, you guys are 90s kids, but we had the Wizard magazine. Wizard magazine for comics. And back then they had their kind of like their own awards, and they gave awards for creators. So I just got this 1996 Wizard Fan Awards for 1996, and it was for best toy line. I don't know if you can see it, for Spawn.
Holy shit.
No, that's awesome, man.
How did you even get that? Like, didn't that go to McFarlane? Like, is that available for purchase?
Yeah, it's supposed to be with McFarlane.
Dude, you're next level, Ty, bro.
It is crazy, man.
Bro, I'm not this class with this guy. He's getting awards. He's in McFarlane's bedroom picking awards off the mantle. That's the level of collecting we're dealing with here.
That's not the only one, Ty. You have another one that you showed me the last time that we were on, right?
That's right. So that's one of 5 different awards from different magazines and such and that I've been able to find around. And then I've been kind of recently getting into the prototypes. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a Commando Spawn figure from Spawn 4. And here's the minifigure of Commando Spawn.
Oh, wow.
Wow, yeah.
And recently I was able to acquire the prototype of that figure. So you can see there's
dude.
the prototype when they do for these figures and the final product there. So
that's crazy.
I've been getting into that kind of thing. So
that's amazing. It'd be great.
Where do you even find something like that?
You can't reveal the sources, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just felt my life flash before my eyes, man. Let's be careful.
So it's a great question because I get asked that question a lot, and as a collector myself, as I was trying to find these things, I asked that question to other collectors. How do you find this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I've come to find that some people, some collectors, they're so like, from a guy, like they're very, very secretive, or they don't want to share the pot. And to me, that I don't see that because I like to help other collectors and share the love. So for these kind of things, I've been lucky enough to connect with other fans around the world, right? The guys from Brazil, the guys from Italy, or whatnot, and I'm able to say like, hey, they send me messages. How can you send me an exclusive because it's only released in the United States and they don't ship to Italy or Greece? And I'm like, absolutely, man. Let me get it for you and I'll ship it to you, not a problem. And in return, they've been able to say, hey, Ty, I have this item. I don't know if you have it. and I'm like, I do not have that item.
Yeah.
And then that door opens to another door, because then that same person is going to email me back and say, hey, I don't know if you know this guy that knows a former employee of McFarlane. And I'm like, no, but I can hit him up. So I would have not made
Wow.
the connection
Yeah.
with the former employee had it not been for making the first connection with this friend out of the US, trying to help him get a gunslinger spawn that we can easily get here.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing, dude.
Right.
It's those connections that open up
Yeah.
doors, and you're able to not only help other collectors, but look, in return, he was able to put me in contact with uh, a former employee, and which I was able to find some of these goodies that I'm sharing with you today.
That's
So
awesome.
it pays off not to be selfish, or not to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
like, like trying to be all kind of in code and like, oh,
Yeah.
when we just could have just helped each other 100%. And at the end of the day, it's not like I'm gonna take these things up in heaven. So
Yeah.
look at that. Look where the collection is getting us. That we can able to talk
Yeah.
about it and share experiences, like with Tommy and LT and Asoka, and
Exactly.
there would be no point in collecting if I'm just sitting here by myself and just like.
I would say that's one of the best things about social media. Like, for all the
Yeah.
negatives you hear in the media about social media, like, dude, I would never have met any folks like you, like on
Yeah.
the show, or the friends I've made that are. But dude, before social media, I collected by myself. No one,
Yeah.
I didn't know one person in real life
Right.
who
Yeah.
collected toys. Like, I see
Yeah.
people at the comic book store, but I didn't really have any
Yeah.
friends that collected. But now with this community of people I've met, like, my friend Rob, he came and stayed at my house a few months ago. Like, I made genuine friendships,
Yeah.
Ty is talking about, from the community. It's a great community. I mean, there's a lot of negativity you see out there, but for the most part, man, we're just like happy to know other people who do this.
Yeah.
And I put this out there to everybody watching, and you guys, if you guys ever happen to be here in Colorado or driving by or whatever, you are always welcome to come over. I've had many collectors come over the house. They want to sleep over in this room. It can be arranged, but my doors are always open, and that kind of
Oh,
attitude,
that's
Asoka,
awesome,
like you
man.
said,
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
helps you grow as a collector and helps you grow in the community. Because at
That's
the end of the
awesome,
day,
man.
there's a guy out there right now watching, listening, that doesn't have probably not even more than 10 spawn items. But
Yeah.
he might have one lighter that I don't have. And
Yeah.
he's gonna say like, hey, let's trade. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
let's do it. And that to me, at this age, at this point in collecting, is what I enjoy the most about collecting.
Yeah.
Right, next time I
Right,
see you, I want you to have like the napkin where they wrote the image logo on. That you somehow got. Hey, here's the original napkin. They wrote the image logo.
In that
Charlie
one
and-
hotel, man.
Yeah, the one hotel bar.
Or remember,
You know?
like Macaroni and Grill. Remember Macaroni and Grill? They
Yeah.
put this that
Oh,
Oh yeah, the paper on there. Yeah.
crayons. And
The spot
who's to
original
say-
sketches on there. You know?
Yeah, who's
I
to say
love
that
it.
Mark
Oh, that'd
Silvestri
be
thought
awesome,
McFarlane
dude.
were drawing, and the waiter was like,
Yeah, and you do that, waiter. You found him at a nursing home 20 years later. You know? Oh, dude, that's amazing.
That's awesome, man.
To piggyback on what Ty was saying, what essentially has become really a now usable term as an influencer,
Yeah.
we've been able to turn on a lot of people and to collecting. I've gotten lots of comics. There are a lot of people that say, because of you, I've gotten back into collecting. Oh my God, they
Yeah.
have this. Let me start collecting Batman. And it's,
Yeah.
and to us, we're not making, we're not financially gaining anything out of it. This is just a passion that we have been sharing, and that we love, and we're
Yeah.
spreading the joy, the love of collecting, as far as anything. It can be anything, collecting anything, but just so happens, we're all McFarlane and
5 years ago,
centric in our collections.
Yeah.
Years
Yeah.
ago, Spawn didn't make a bleep on teenagers' radars, and then Spawn was a skin or a character you could play with in Mortal Kombat, right? So I have teenagers, they're 16, and their friends were like, "What's Spawn?" Or like, "Okay, great, that's cool." Then Mortal Kombat comes out, Spawn comes out, and now I'm the coolest guy in the neighborhood. Like, oh yeah, we love Spawn, And then I was able to give them Spawn comics from the those Image First issues that are $1 you can buy at the comic book stores. So I buy a lot of them. I keep in the house. I keep in the room. So when somebody comes over and wants to learn more about Spawn, I just here you go, check it out. What, Spawn #1? And I'm like, well, it's a reprint of Spawn #1, but yeah, it's Spawn #1. And they love that. Why? Because I'm trying to kind of share that with younger generation, like younger collectors. Because like you said, LT, it's at the end of the day, like we're gonna grow, and who's gonna get into this stuff. So
yeah, that's a good point, Ty. I didn't think about that with Spawn, especially like the younger generation. There's no movies, there's no cartoons, there's no TV shows. It's really been just the comics and the action figures for the past couple of decades, right? I mean, the last movie was in '97, I think.
That's right.
And like, that's fascinating. I didn't even think about it being in Mortal Kombat. That's like getting people interested in Spawn again.
Exactly.
That's fascinating, dude. Very insightful.
Yeah. Not very insightful. How about you, Asoka? Do you have like a figure that is your pride and joy within your collection? Or is that too hard to just pick one?
As cool as, you know what? There is something, and I shared this on my little podcast a few months ago. So this isn't that rare. It's from Comic-Con. It's a 2015 exclusive, right? But the reason I love it is when I got engaged in 2015, right? This is before I had any sort of, I didn't have any relationships with the companies, right? I was a sneaky little bastard. I emailed DC Direct. I'm like, hey guys, I'm getting married. Can I have something for my wedding to like have at the wedding? Totally just fishing for some free shit, right?
Yeah.
So DC Direct sent me a box of toys with this in it, and then the then director Kevin Kinnery of DC Direct, he wrote me this handwritten note. You can't read it here, like congratulating me on my engagement, and like that. This for me is my favorite thing, because it was
that's
like
awesome.
My favorite company. DC obviously means a lot to me. Sending me something with like or handwritten notes, so that for me is like my favorite like collectible personally. But then everything else is like my Hot Toys collection over there, just because those are the most expensive things and the most beautiful things. But I think those are my most like valuable items. And then also this Beast Kingdom statue you see back there. Superman. That one's quickly rising in the ranks. There's too much stuff, dude. Tommy, I'm sorry, man. I can like. There's so many favorite items now.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to pick one, right? It's hard to pick one. How about you, dude, LT?
I can't even pick one, man.
Give me 2 seconds. Let me get it right there.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
You know what? While we will for LT, Asoka brings up something that I really like, and I think it's not about the item; it's the story behind the item.
Yes,
and I love that. Like hearing that story,
thanks,
right?
Man.
It's what really grabs me for sure.
Yeah. Agree.
There's always something emotional about it,
Yeah,
that connection, right? That you make with it, that emotional connection. Yeah.
My
all right, LT.
Prize and emotional connection is the Kevin Conroy signed directly to me. Batman. Let me get the glare.
Awesome. Right there, man.
Nah, that's awesome, man. 2 LT.
I got to meet him twice. He signed one of my pops, and I've got another figure signed, but this one is just so pretty because I can remember just him looking at it, and he just loved the design of it.
Yeah.
And then he went off on a tangent of how just on a story of just how Batman, what Batman meant to him.
Yeah.
And and then when he passed away last year, it gutted me. I love that man. And this right here, and like along with the other two that I got signed, is my baby.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome, man.
That is very cool.
I mean, the figure itself's not worth anything. It's that.
It's that.
It's
that.
Me from him.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying, LT. It's the story behind the item that it takes that special place in their collection. It could be a figure that everybody can obtain, but it's the story how you got it or where you got it from.
Yeah.
Or maybe an aunt gave it to you and that's what started you collecting. And so I think the stories that we could share about our items, that's to me is another cool thing about collecting and meeting with the community.
100%.
What about you, Tommy? What do you have that's your most valued or treasured piece?
That's a good point. I mean, well, so from a story standpoint, like I have a lot of figures that I really love. I love the Spawn and his throne figure. That's my favorite figure that I have out of all my McFarlane. And I have the original one, and then I have the new sketch edition one, which is absolutely incredible. But the one thing, and this is from my buddy Ty right there, I was at San Diego Comic-Con, and I knew he wasn't going to make it. And so at the McFarlane booth, they had just some pins, right? They weren't expensive or anything like that, but I knew Ty wasn't going to be able to get his hands on it. He would have to ask someone to do it, and I was already there. So I was trying to reach out to him, and I couldn't get a hold of him because he travels a lot. So I went ahead and just picked up an extra set just in case he needed it. And then I sent them to him because I know how much of a completist he is. So I wanted to make sure that he didn't miss out on that. Yeah. And without asking for anything, he sent me this awesome coin with the SpawnHunter on it and on the back, and even this little case to kind of, it's embossed inside there. It's incredible. I didn't ask for this. I wasn't looking for anything in return. But then in the mail, man, I got a really nice note from Ty with this coin and this case to put it in. So it sits front and center in front of my Spawn collection right here.
Thank you,
That's awesome, dude.
Well, yeah, it was so cool, man. I wasn't looking. I truly didn't want to do that to look for something. I wasn't trying to get anything out of Ty, man. But it was just awesome, man. And I'd love to do those kind of things, man. LT's a completist. Yeah. I know you are, Asoka, in some areas. Yeah. And sometimes, right, I can't get to the other side of the country. I can't go to New York Comic Con. So if McFarlane has a figure, I got to find someone that I know that's going and see if they'll be able to pick it up for me. And that's awesome. The fun of it, too. And that's why building out this community is so amazing, because we do need to lean on one another once in a while to get this done. And I'm all in, man, for that kind of stuff, because you get to help out a friend. You get to meet a lot of amazing people. So I would say from a story standpoint, that's one of my favorite figures.
Well, you have something very, very unique, Tommy. You're not sharing with us.
What's that?
That piece of the booth that you got at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes,
those are one of 25.
Yeah.
That's a really cool piece.
Yeah, let me see where I put it. Oh, it's right here. Let me show you guys. So I don't know if you remember, but he just did a whatnot. And he took his booth, and on his booth, the background, he had these giant murals of all these different figures that are part of the Spawn universe. And he cut them all out, autographed them, and then he had a whatnot where he auctioned them off. And so I was watching the auction, and they were just expensive. And I was like, hinting to my wife, like, yeah, check this out. This is pretty cool. And she's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, man. Just tell me what you're trying to get out of it, right? So she's like a hot knife on butter, right? She just cuts right through the point. She's like, stop BSing me. What's up? And so I told her, I said, I would love to bid on something, but they're getting up to a couple $1,000s. And she says, look, if you're not buying a bunch of other stuff, go ahead and do it. And then, we're okay. She gets what she wants sometimes. So she's into Disney, so she goes to Disney World once in a while with the girls. And so anyways, the bidding was over. I missed out. And then a couple people, maybe they pulled back on their bid or something. So this became available, and I bid on it, and I was able to get.
Oh, dude.
This one right here.
And it's signed.
And it's signed right up here on the top.
Oh, my God, dude. That is beautiful, bro.
And then because I got this, so I got to figure out a frame and a place to put it. So I just keep it kind of safe in a plastic bag for now so it doesn't get dirty or anything. But then he sent all kinds of other stuff. He sent 8 comic books that are signed by him. And then he sent this album, the Spawn album that's signed.
Dude,
which was pretty cool, too. And so if you slide it out on the inside, he signed this one as well.
Damn.
And then it comes with obviously the album.
Blood Red.
Dude,
so
that is fantastic.
And just to correct Todd McFarlane that night, he was calling laser discs. He's like,
yeah.
We're like, hey.
And I'm like, no, Todd, that's not the laser disc. That's the album.
What's funny is, I think Todd is so cool, man. I've been a big fan of Todd since when he was with Marvel doing art for Spider-Man, which changed Spider-Man. I mean, I think to this day he has the one issue that is the most sold ever within Spider-Man. At one time it was the most sold ever. Now it's just with Spider-Man. But he's so cool. Sometimes I forget that he's in his 60s, man. So he does do things like that. And you're like, that's hilarious, man.
That's awesome. Dude, Tommy, that's amazing.
Yeah, he does do a lot of videos online, and especially when he's explaining his figures and he's making little noises like pew pew. And he's a big kid. He's one of us.
He is.
You know?
But
he is one of us,
With
man.
that said, and we're talking about Todd. Okay, yeah, he gets really into it, but then he'll grab a comic, right? And then he's like, "Oh, I remember this comic, and yeah, you know, and he's like manhandling it. Oh,
yay!
Or like he'll grab the Hot Wheels. Oh yeah, we got some Hot Wheels, and then like he's like shaking it. I'm like, don't shake it. Like, yeah, that drives me crazy.
Awesome.
I'm like, hopefully that's not my comic, Todd.
Yeah. So I did get a little in trouble though after I won that bid and I received it, because I did an unboxing on TikTok and Instagram, and obviously I showed my wife what I got, and she goes, "That was $2,000." So I don't think she understands the value that I saw in it. But then boxes started arriving because I did pre-order a bunch of stuff. And then I got in a little bit of a trouble because she let me do this, but then all these figures started coming in. So
I mean, bro, that's pretty awesome of her, man. Like, my wife would stab me before she let me spend, like, you know what I mean? Like, she would, even if we were making like millions a year, she would just like, you know what I mean? I love my wife. She's great. She's really cool.
Yeah.
When it comes to my collection, she's a get. You know, dude, that's a beautiful piece, bro. Like that, it's like a banner, and you're gonna be able to like frame it. Oh man, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun, man. So, as far as how often, I assume, like, Ty, I know you're always on the lookout. You've created this almost network that's globally to be able to help ensure that if something comes available that you don't have in your collection, you have this network that of other collectors where you built these amazing relationships. LT, I know I've seen you on videos where, you know, you have friends maybe around the country that's helped you. I assume you have the same thing, Asoka, if you are looking for a certain figure. Those networks, I think, that we've all been able to create have become really important in our ability to continue the collection and then to share that collection with the community. Is there any unique story out of all of you where someone has been able to come through for you on a figure that you were just really trying to find, and then all of a sudden someone says, "Hey, I know a guy who has that and I can help you out"?
I'm trying to think of something specific. It happens pretty often, especially with the Walmart exclusives. Those are always the hardest to obtain. Like, even like, I know I get sent stuff, but they don't send us everything, and sometimes you don't know if you're getting anything. You never want to assume you're just going to get it. So the Walmart stuff especially, and I've had people like just get it for me before I even ask. And you know what I mean? Like the Nightfall Batman, for example, from McFarlane Toys, like the Asbat suit. That was one, like, a friend has grabbed it for me, and he found it at Walmart and just sent it. And I was like, they never sent me that. I never saw it in stores. Walmart sucks. Like, I mean, I go there a lot to buy stuff, but they just suck as far as like exclusives go and being able to buy it. So I think that's really where the communities help me out, is the Walmart exclusives specifically, you know?
No, that's very true. Very true. You know, the other thing about Walmart that gets really frustrating is you have people come in when a pre-order comes up, like at 9 a.m. or whatever. You have people come in and they'll buy 30 of an item. And then the pre-orders are gone. And then all of a sudden you see them on Walmart.com, and instead of $19.99 or $24.99, they're $49.99, or they're on eBay or something like that.
Third-party sellers, man.
And I wish Walmart would like do a minimum of like 2. You could only buy 2 or something like that to help out, because they go fast, and then we end up having to pay triple the price in order to ensure that that's part of our collection.
Dude, especially like with NECA, I noticed like with the advent of that and OfferUp, like it's just a whole nother layer of scalper. Like back when we were back in the day when we were growing up, or when we first started, you had your traditional scalper, right? They showed up 8 a.m. at Target. They ran and got shit to resell, right? But now, dude, everyone's a scalper. Like, you know what I mean? Even fellow collectors, sadly, are scalpers. Just buying stuff because it's so easy to flip on like OfferUp or eBay or whatever it is. So it's kind of sad. There's that. I support capitalism. Obviously, I'm American. I live here, so I can't really fault them for having that mentality. But it's such a weird thing where like we're just buying it from a middleman because they got it. You know what I mean? It's such a it sucks. You know, that's why I'm glad like we have the McFarlane Toy store where we can buy stuff from directly. That's been amazing. Like they're the best, honestly, versus like Target, Walmart. Just buying it directly from them, even though the shipping's more. For me, it's been worth it, man. Just so I don't have to deal with the stress. Like when I was younger, I loved the hunt, man. I loved the hunt. You know, going in there, finding something. Now that I'm old, I like shit showing up on my doorstep. I just buy it. It's there the next day. I enjoy it. I'm not trying to go hunt for shit anymore, man. I'm sorry. It's like the thrill of the chase is over. You know
It was tough back in the 90s because we didn't have the internet. We didn't have, you know, anything like that was announcing on this date it will drop. None of that. You had to be there every day at 8 a.m. And I would be lined up on the outside Toys R Us next to the Hot Wheels guys.
Yeah, the Hot Wheels guys.
and you know, and then like, what are you looking for? I'm Hot Wheels. Oh, okay, good. I'm Star Wars.
You're
okay.
Dude, and the Hot Wheels guys, it's still the same shit. Because Hot Wheels doesn't really announce anything, I think. I feel like the Batman Hot Wheels, right? And like, shit just shows up. And like, I've never heard of this. There's been no promotion. There's no like Instagram announcement. It's just there all of a sudden. Like all of a sudden, there's the Dark Knight Returns Bat Tank from Hot Wheels, like just showing up. You know, so those Hot Wheels guys, man, they're the OGs, dude. They're still doing it.
They still doing their thing. Yes, absolutely.
Dude, the best thing about when we were growing up, you just found out about new toys on the back of the action figure. Oh, look at that! That's coming out. Might be in a year. Who knows? You know.
or we had Whisper magazine or Tomart's mag. Lee's Guide to Toy Collecting, and it would come out and be like, oh, coming out, you know, and when? Who knows? September sometime.
Exactly.
Like,
the fall.
And then if you're lucky enough to talk to the guys that work at Toys R Us, I like, oh, we put stuff out on Tuesday night, so come on Wednesday morning. Like, so Wednesday mornings, I'm there 8 a.m. in New Jersey, out in the cold with a jacket outside, freezing.
Like go to magazine with Toy Fair back in the 90s, which they would say coming soon, but coming soon meant next year or something. You know,
very ambiguous.
I love Toy Fair. That was a great magazine.
Wizard was great. Those are the heydays.
Those are the heydays. I miss Toys R Us too, man.
Yeah.
When Toy Fair and those magazines had their own exclusive figures come out.
You
have to actually order it, send in a coupon or whatever, and order it.
Mailaways. I miss Mailaways.
Creators Outlet says, "Yep, we're older than Google." Sad,
we are, man. We really are. Jesus, dude. I work with a lot of younger people, and some of the references I make.
Exactly.
I don't make any Saved by the Bell references anymore.
Exactly.
Like, no one gets it. It's just like, nah.
Oliver says action figure collectors are maybe divided into too many genres. Based collectors, Hot Wheels guys have so many clubs to trade with each other. Let's avoid for the most part. All the scalpers. I'm not sure if there is kind of like that community that some of the Hot Wheels guys and gals have, where they have these websites where they could go and they could kind of trade. I'm not sure that it even exists for figure collectors like us.
Not really. I don't
just
think
the Facebook groups. In my case, Spawn. It's a small niche group of people, but we have Spawn Facebook groups, and we're able to trade. We're able to sell stuff in there, and you know, chances are that you might find it for a better deal than eBay. So there's always that out.
The difference in Hot Wheels is that they mark up like the resale value. Since they're only like 99 cents, you can sell one for $20. That's what, 2,000% markup. And $20 is still not that much, you know, in today's figure wise, you know. But
that's a good point.
Unlike some figures today, they go up to like, you know, hundreds of dollars just for that one figure that was originally 20. So there's a difference in upselling or the Hot Wheels versus figures, which is
Good
cool.
point.
Which I don't mind buying a Hot Wheel originally for 99 cents for like $4 or $5 because it's worth
Still
it.
cheap.
But
Yeah.
Still cheap, yeah.
Not going on eBay to buy a figure that's at $100, $200 when it's still you find out at store for like $20.
Yeah.
Although it's harder to find it, but still,
Yeah.
that's the whole thrill of the hunt.
Exactly.
This was my Google back then, right?
Oh, there it is.
Magazines.
Oh man.
Oh wow, look at that,
I
man.
would see the toy and I'm like, what is that, right?
Ah.
When is that dropping? And then I will
Nice.
go look for it. But
Ty, you're making me want to watch the original Spawn movie now, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just getting I just feel like watching it, bro.
Go in with low expectations.
Oh, bro, dude, I watched it, bro. And I love shitty movies, so I'm down. Bro.
Yeah.
I just love that movie, man. His suit was great. The suit was great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The little kid was a horrible actor. Like Coglioso, he was okay. He was like a stage actor. John Leguizamo, I mean, I love John Leguizamo. He's great.
Yeah.
Dude,
funny. He's our man.
And those figures,
exactly.
Hold up.
They do. I think the HBO series is the one that you need to rewatch. The animated
that's great.
I probably rewatch that about every 3 months or so. It is so well done, and it's dark and it's gritty and. Man, I don't know. I just love it. I love that that HBO. I'm hoping that when they do, because Todd has already talked about, right? Obviously, he's in the middle of trying to get another movie done, which I think is going to take some time, especially if he's going to stick with Jamie Foxx. Although it seems like he's doing much better, which is great. I'm a big fan of his, but he also talked about going back and redoing some of the animated series that he had started.
He did.
And can you imagine? The technology they have today around animation with that dark grittiness that he did back then, I mean, that could be huge. You see what Robert Kirkman's been able to do on Amazon Prime with Invincible. I think if Todd were to do something on the animated side, even before a live action movie, that could really even help the live action movie if you could start there, because everyone's up for that, I think.
One of the things with Todd, and I've come to learn more and more about the man, the artist, the businessman. Because we're working very closely with Todd McFarlane Productions to make SpawnCon happen this fall. And we've had conference calls, and it's just insane. It's like we're talking right now, and Todd's in one of the squares, and it's like,
that's awesome, bro.
And it's like, I'm like listening because we're talking, and then it's like I'm just like talking stuff with Todd McFarlane right now. But Todd is I want to say leaning towards perfectionist or leaning towards providing something that is unlike anything you have ever seen. Yeah. And not only it's going to be something that's never been seen before, but it's going to be something that's going to break records. So talking about the animated series that he's developing, like you said, Tommy, he's going to be looking for the latest and greatest and how to deliver something that doesn't have to be like super all the bells and whistles, but it's going to be something that's going to leave an impression, and it's going to be something that everybody's going to find cool, right? The cool factor, we like to call it. So I'm very much looking forward to that animated show whenever that happens. I know he's very meticulous about things like that. He's learned so much in the business in the past 30 plus years he knows how everything connects and how the audience, myself and the collectors, are looking for, because we are buying the stuff. You know, LT's buying all the versions of DC Multiverse. So it's not like no one's buying it. There's LTs out there that are looking for that. I've met guys that are collecting just the Batman from DC Multiverse, but they have every single Batman, right? So they're able to kind of stream their collections, but they're finding every single Batman, meaning the Jokerized, the Gold, the Platinum. So
and there's a lot of people online that bitch and moan that there's so many Batmans, and Todd, I think, has said, well, Batman sells. I mean, don't be a fool. Batman sells, and there's always a demand for that figure. So no matter how many different versions, different figures we get of Batman, they're going to sell, and they will always sell out.
Yeah, even from a social media perspective, anytime I do a Batman post, they always do better than like an obscure DC Comics character post. It's just reality, like LT is talking about, man. I mean, I'm a Batman fanatic. You see all the Batman shit I have in my background here. I just love it so much, dude. You know?
That's awesome, man.
Like you said, Todd knows exactly what drives the collectors to the store, and it just happens to be Batman. I mean, I'm sorry if that's not the figure you want. That's the figure that's going to sell.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you rarely see a Batman on the peg. You'll see a lot of any other version, but you will not see a Batman on the peg still. So,
yeah, they go fast. They go really fast.
They do.
Yeah. Man, I have had such a great time with all of you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on. I'm hoping we could do this again, especially with Todd releasing so much information, man. It would be a blast. Really good conversation around an amazing passion that all of you are like the standard for, man. It's been a lot of fun.
That, man.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to see what's coming next. Go ahead.
He's been dropping what? He's been dropping 2 to 3 items a week for the past 2-3 months already. Since Comic.
It's getting really tricky being able to pay for all of this without my wife seeing. I'm like, dude, Todd, take a break, man. Let's take 1 month off. Let me kind of shake out, some of the,
give us
the fear. Yeah, give me a month to take a breather, man. I need a breath of air, and then I'll get back in, I promise. But, man, come on.
I think if we lived in the same area, we probably do, like, trips to sell plasma. We'll make every Tuesday and Thursday. We're like, it's a plasma donation day. Guys.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Tommy, if you want to, New York Comic Con is around the corner, so maybe we can do something after the show, and we can talk about,
that'd be awesome.
Talk about the exclusives that they would release, and Asoka can talk about the products, and I can talk about the Spawn stuff.
I would love to do that.
Post New York Comic Con.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. And the other thing I want to mention, right? You've already mentioned it a few times, but maybe we can mention it again, man. SpawnCon is coming. It is October 28th and 29th. Is that correct? Yep.
That's right.
In Denver. Yeah, it's coming up, and it's in Denver. It's at is it the Hyatt?
It's the Hilton DoubleTree Hotel.
Hilton DoubleTree.
5 minutes from the airport.
Right, you get off the airport, you take an Uber, and you're there in 5 minutes, man.
There's a shuttle from the actual hotel that's going to take you guys there. So
there you go, man. There you go.
You can
That's awesome, dude. Ty, send me some stuff, bro, on Instagram. I'll promote it in my stories and things, man. But that'll be awesome, dude. Yeah, I'd love to get more awareness.
Yeah, of course, dude. Definitely will. Yeah. It's a Spawn 100% show. It's the first ever Spawn convention put together, and so we are having about everyone that's worked on Spawn, and they're gonna all be in this hotel, and you can bring any Spawn comic from your collection, and you'll find either the letter, the colorist, or the artist that's gonna be at the show.
That's amazing,
and
bro.
We're gonna have exclusives from the artist. We're gonna have exclusives just for the show, and it's gonna be a blast. So if you like Spawn, you love Spawn, come over, and you're just gonna geek out with all the Spawn fans in there.
Yeah, that's great, dude. Ty, definitely, send me some info on Instagram, bro. I'll definitely share it in my stories, and that sounds amazing, bro. Congratulations on that. That must be a lot of hard work, like for a long time, getting this all set up, dude. So that's awesome.
It's a lot of
work. Amazing.
And working with other people, as you can tell, it's always personalities, and we managed to make it through, and here we are, and it's happening, and we're very excited for it, and I'm looking forward to meeting other collectors that we've met online only, and they're gonna be there. So it's gonna be. I couldn't recommend it more, because you can go to the bigger shows, and but if you just like this particular character or this particular genre, you're gonna be able to connect with these people and just find merchandise, T-shirts, figures, everything Spawn. Right? It's gonna be the Toys R Us of Spawn those 2 days. Thank you.
That's so cool, man.
I mean, if I didn't just have a baby, I would try to see if my wife will let me go.
Babies.
I'm already tempted. I'm like, man, can I make it work? Probably not, but next time, bro. Next time I'll be there.
Real quick, was that a tie? Was that a Spawn tattoo I just saw on your arm?
Yes.
Oh, let's see.
There
it is.
Yeah,
bro. Shit.
He's no joke, man. He's all in, brother. He's all in, man.
I don't want to. I gotta show mine then. There's.
Oh, your DC.
Oh,
Look
I
at.
got
Yeah, Batman.
LTs, bro. Superman over
All right,
here.
Tommy, where's yours?
There you go.
I don't have any. I have really bad tattoos from San Bernardino, which is the armpit of California, man. So these are not anything like you guys, man. But
You need
that is awesome.
More comics in Chinese.
Yeah, there you go, bro. There you go.
My luck, it'll say something else because I can't read Chinese, and then everyone will.
Even
Chinese will be like, "What an idiot, man!"
Egg drop soup.
Yeah, exactly. He got a menu item on his arm.
I gotta bounce. I gotta go help the wife with the baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Tommy, thanks so much for having me on the show, man. Ty,
Yeah.
great meeting you. LT, finally get to talk to you in person, bro. You guys are
Yeah,
awesome. So this has been great, man.
Yeah.
Love to do it again. And thank you guys so much. And I'll talk to you
I
guys soon.
can't tell you how much I appreciate you all coming on. Thank you so much, and we will do this again. And then anybody who's in the chat, send me a DM on Instagram. Just send me a DM that says #McFarlane, and I'm gonna send you guys a figure for joining, man. Really appreciate it.
Dude, what a guy.
Yeah, man, this has been fun, and we will do this again. And then Robert, we'll see if we have anybody in our network that can help you find that Bane, man, because they are getting a little expensive. They are a little bit hard to find, but if we know someone, man, we'll reach out to you. Send me a DM, Robert, and we'll figure it out. Oh, and then the sticker.
Yeah, if anybody wants a sticker, just it's on Instagram. Let me know. Send me a DM. I just got these printed, and I'm more than happy to send one to everybody.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate it, man. All right, everyone. Have a great the rest of your weekend, and thank you so much for joining, man. Love it. Yeah, thank you, LT. All right, take it easy, guys. Appreciate it, guys.